what's scary is that I can actually dump the tanks. If I flick this, this is what makes the tag axle go up. If I press this, this will increase it from about, I think it's like 500 RPM to 1,000.
We were at 9,666 feet. We're now at 5340. Sometime in 22, we want to get together and do a race. Well, howdy guys. I thought I'd do a video on what are all of these buttons, and there are a lot. So I also brought the manual to help me along because there's a lot of different buttons here. But I was going to say there's another YouTuber out here called Prevo and Barbecue. He's got a similar bus to mine, and he lives in Texas, but sometime in 22 we want to get together and do a race. So cheer us on, help us get together. We'll try to tell you when that is, if we can get that arranged, and I think it'd make a neat video. So at any rate, going to be working on 2 cameras here, but we've got buttons kind of all over the place here, in the front dash, up here, and over in this area. And forgive me for the lighting, but this is the best I can do. So starting over here, this guy in the corner, or in the very back, if you can see it, there's a little lever, and if I flick this, this is what makes the tag axle go up. And so what I've found is there's 2 options. One, it dumps the air to the tag, and the other one is it actually raises it. My tag, I don't believe it goes up, so I think it just dumps the air. But gonna do a video on that this summer. Want to use a drone at the same time when I do that, because I think it'd make for better video, and my drone quit. So this next one is the air brakes, and so this is for all of the brake system, and if you push it, it releases it. You need full air pressure to be able to release the brakes from the bus. And so if you're going down the road and you drop air, the brakes are gonna lock up, and so that's not a good thing. So, and then you just pull this to release. You push it in to take the brakes off, and then you pull it up, and it puts the brakes on. This next system here is called level low, and what it does is when you turn it to either of these dials, so the bus, you can think of, you've got the 2 front wheels, and then you've got the back left and the back right, and so this is left, front, and right. And so if you select that, you can either add or take away air to the system, and you can only do that when you're parked. Otherwise it'll reset itself. And in the bus, it actually, driving down the road, it keeps it level, so it corners like it's on rails. The next one here, so this is actually the mirror control, and so this is obviously the driver's side mirror, and so there's an upper and a lower, and in the passenger side mirror there's an upper and a lower. This one right here is this window right there, and so with this button I can move it up and down. This button is for my cruise control, so all of these are for the cruise. And so when I'm going down the road, I hit set and it will hold the cruise. This is how you turn the system on and off. This one is resume and decelerate. Over here, so these are a bunch of lights, and what's scary is that I can actually dump the tanks. So the black, the gray, and then the master dump. So that one's kind of scary. And then I've got some different lights. On this panel, so this is the generator, and so this will start the generator. This will heat up the glow plugs. This is my AquaHot burner, so I can turn the AquaHot system on. the AquaHot preheat, and then this is auto start for the generator. And so there's a controller, if the batteries get down too low, it will automatically start, but I don't have that turned on. So moving up is actually the transmission module. And so you turn this on, and then of course it's in neutral, and you can do drive or reverse. And as you're going down the road, this will display the gear number it's in. And so if you're going to go down a big hill or up a big hill, you can actually change these. And then mode, there's a whole control or a whole pamphlet on what this will do, but I haven't ever changed the mode. Getting over into here, so this guy is a trailer brake controller, which I don't have. I've got a key switch, of course, and then this right here is the master switch for the Prevost batteries, and so if I flick that, it turns everything off. Then coming over into here, so these buttons, this one right here is a high idle. So when I start the bus up, if I press this, this will increase it from about, I think it's like 500 RPM to 1,000. This right here is my transmission retarder activation. And so if I push this button, this lever right here becomes active. So I just leave it on all the time. This right here is an override button. So this has got the DDEC control system. And so if the bus wants to go into limp mode, you can override it, and it's good for 30 seconds. And then if you press it again, like on second 29, it'll give you another 30 seconds, but they caution you not to do that. This one is the baggage compartment, unlock and lock. This is horn, air, and city. So if I push this button, it'll give you the little beep beep sound. That's my air compressor right now. And then if you leave it in this configuration, it does the air horn. This right here is the backup. So if I turn, right now I've got it off. So if I back up, it would give me the beep, beep, beep. So I have that turned off. This is the test system to do a test for all the lights. This is actually a docking button. So you've got docking lights, cornering lights, low docking lights, and then you've got the mirrors, the side mirror heaters. This button, I actually have no idea what this is. So if anybody has an idea what that button is, let me know. I thought it'd be in the converter's manual, and it's not. So I have no idea. If it were Prevost, I think it would match the rest of the buttons. This button right here is the front headlights. So if I just turn it one notch, it gives me like all the marker lights, and in the second push, it gives me the main headlights. This is the fog lights. This is the hazards. And then there's two windshields on the, actually four, but the upper windshield, this is the wiper motor control, and then this is the washer fluid. And then so backing up, just like normal cars, you've got your turn signal indicator, so you've got the windshield wipers controller, and this button right here, it actually, if you push it, it does like the semi-trucker light flash. So if somebody lets you in, you can press this and it does the thank you button. Coming over here to the dash, I'll actually turn the lights on here. We have the temperature, and that's engine coolant temperature. And so I got my manual here. It says a normal reading for the temperature is between 190 and 215. And so I'm actually glad I looked at that, because it had been going between 190 and 210 and I was getting a little anxious. So it's actually right where it needs to be. The oil pressure is this gauge. And so the oil pressure, Prevost says the normal reading should be between 50 and 70 at 55 miles an hour. So it always hangs around that area, so I'm good. This right here is the turbo boost. So, you know, just like in a normal diesel engine, as the turbo spools up and makes boost, that gets higher. We've got the RPM gauge, and Prevost says never exceed 2450 in the bus. And so most of the time she runs about 1600 RPM. Then I've got, of course, the mile per hour, and she's not a garage queen, so I'm actually comfortable with that amount of miles with this age. And then, of course, we've got the battery up here, and so the battery level, what Prevost says, is between 26.5 and 28 volts is what that should read. And then we've got the fuel gauge. I think it's a 265 gallon fuel tank. So I've got a half tank, so I can go quite a ways. And then so these here are my rear tanks. And so when I start the bus, these will actually both go up. They're engine driven. And this is my accessory air. And so my accessory air, it goes from, I think at 90 pounds is when it kicks on, and then it'll go back up to 120. But that runs a whole bunch of stuff in here. So there she goes. We've got a little leak. They're hard to find because the accessory air goes everywhere. We've got the instrument cluster, you know, the idiot lights, I guess you can call them. And there's a whole bunch on there. Won't bore you with it. And then right here we've got the, I don't know if you can see it or not, those are the steering wheel, but this controls the screen down here, so I can change it between okay, so that says 147 gallons left, and then my mile per gallon, and that's instant. You can hit mode and it'll do like voltage, so 12.2, so that's a little low. Oil temp 40 degrees, transmission temp 90 degrees, don't think I believe that. Back to the voltage, setup menu, diagnostic menu, time, and then you can scroll between these, but you can see the transmission temp, which I like when you're using the transmission retarder. And so this is the transmission retarder right here. And so if you've ever driven a Tesla, it's a similar feeling. What it does is it uses the transmission and the fluid. I don't know exactly how it works, but as you pull this down, it gives you more resistance, but it also creates heat in the transmission. So if I'm ever going to go down a hill, I turn on the transmission temp over in this area and watch it. But usually if I'm going down a huge 8% grade, and I'll try to throw a video in here right here. So here we are going down a 6% grade. Got it in 4th gear, running right behind the traffic. It's kind of amazing. 50,000 pounds and kind of just take it right down the hill. I got some transmission brake. Got too much in there. I'm at 230, which isn't bad. But this thing can hold this thing at 15 miles an hour down a 6% grade. Pretty freaking amazing. I'm gonna take this out so I can start rolling again. We were at 9,666 feet. We're now at 5340. And here I am in 4th gear. I took all the retarder out. Try not to get my RPMs up too high there, but just thought I'd share. It's pretty amazing. But if you're going down a steep grade, I usually go to down a gear or two, and then I put in a notch or two of the transmission retarder, and it'll hold the bus. So pretty happy with it. Try to shine a light over here. So this is my own doing. I put in this Sony Apple CarPlay radio, and really like it. It's got GPS on it. Right here is a CB, and so it works real well. Got the antenna on top. I want to try to relocate it because it got broken off. This right here is a dimmer for all the engine, or for the cluster of lights. This right here is the light above me. This is my backup camera. It'll open that wing on the back. It's pneumatic controlled. This is the co-pilot light. And then this is the baggage lock and front door, sorry, lock and unlock. Down in here, if you can see them, this is what controls my blinds. And so I've got the one to the left of me, the one in front of me, the one just to the right, and the one over the door. This right here is the step slide. So right in here, this guy will come out, and it sets on that piece of wood and makes a nice platform so you don't have to fall down like 20 feet. The other here, not real sure why I've got it, but this is a radar detector. I guess, you know, if you're spending $1 million on a coach, why not? The air register. This is the temperature, so I can turn it on, set the temperature, the fan speed. Just like in a car, I've got the defroster, and I can pick between these different pieces. This is the air, so that's turning the compressor on. This right here is auxiliary air, and so right back behind me and over there, there's another air system that runs, so you can control the fan speed and turn it on and off. And in this one, I believe it turns on an engine-driven water pump to help remove some moisture from the air. So that's kind of a what's what here. You know, I've got this system up top. So this is an HWH computerized leveling. It either doesn't work or I don't know how to use it, but basically it will do what the level low system does. So basically the bus is a tripod, and I've never got it to work. It just beeps at me, so I haven't used it. These gauges right here, this is for the generator. This is the water and oil pressure for it when you're running it. This is for a theater system that I removed. It sucked, so I removed it, but I didn't want a hole, so I left it. This right here is for the ultimate horn. It's really loud, and it works now. This right here is for the antenna for the TV, so I can raise and lower it and then turn it. And then this guy right here, I actually don't know what it is. Oh, and that reminds me, back behind this radio is the controller for the light that I want to take off. It works. Leave me a comment and let me know if I should take it off or not, but I think it looks dorky. I'll never use it. I wish it were in the back so I could see it, because most of the time when you're going to a campground, you're backing in, so having the light on the front doesn't do me much good because I've got super bright headlights. So this guy down here, this is an old navigation system, and I think I've said in another video, I wanted to take it out, but I don't know what to put in there. I thought about maybe like a GMRS radio system, but I got to take the measurements and see if it fits in there. You know, the electronic stuff anymore is so small, and this is huge. I just leave it in there. And then this guy right here, it's just a drawer. That's about it up front here. Of course, I got the air horn. Yeah, so I think that's it. Got the seat controls. It's an air ride seat, so it's pretty comfortable. But that's about it. Appreciate you guys watching. If you guys have any suggestions for another video, let me know. Love to kind of come out here and make them. It's kind of a little hobby when I don't have anything to do. But yeah, I'll try to get some more videos put out, and appreciate you watching.